What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Thingos back again for another video, and I just got to talk about all the crazy shit that has been going on in Attack on Titan. We just recently got the newest chapter 125 release, and it's so many different pieces being moved around on this insane chessboard puzzle, whatever you want to call it, man. It's so many different angles and perspectives and people being put into different situations in this chapter. I really love how Izayama did it. The pacing is crazy. I don't know how this guy manages to focus on so many different things in such a little amount of time, but at the same time make it seem like it's flowing naturally. Nothing really feels like it's being rushed, so to speak, or kind of like being put out of place. Now, I do think the Annie stuff came out of nowhere. I mean, you know, better late than never, but Annie could have came a little sooner. I don't know. I mean, what he chooses to do with her could make it make more sense, flesh it out. It's just, I don't really know what he can do with her in about 6 or 7 chapters, because that's probably as much as we have left. But the biggest thing to take away from this chapter, like I said, Annie is finally back. We get some interactions with her, like some actual dialogue between her and Hitch. We get to see this good dynamic between both of them. They go back and forth. You get to see more of a actual backstory and explanation for Annie from her perspective, how she felt and what she thinks about her actions that she did earlier on in the series, like around the first season, like when she killed so many of the scouts, how she feels about life and her own life and pretty much everything in general, how she pretty much doesn't care about shit until she realizes, because of the actions that her father took at the last minute right before she was going off to paradise, after training her so hard and, you know, just putting her through these gauntlets of different, he's trying to pretty much turn her into a warrior. It just made Annie even more devoid of any emotions that she probably already didn't have much to begin with. But after training her so hard and turning her into a savage, so much so that Annie even turned against her father and fought against him and surpassed him in skill and everything, he broke down in front of her right before she was about to leave to Paradise Island, and he admitted that he actually loves her and he sees her as his real daughter, because we also find out that Annie was adopted by another Eldian. So her actual family, she got adopted by this man, and he ended up loving her so much as his own daughter. And he told her right before she left to Paradise that after all that hard training, that he does see her as his real daughter. He just wants her to come home safe and sound. He just wants to be able to see her again. So I like how they put so much of a focus on that. Will Annie be able to get this happy ending with her father? I don't know. But another thing on the other end of that I want to talk about is that we see Annie's father pretty much trying to, him and a whole bunch of other Eldians that are inside Liberio, you know, the internment zone in Marley, where they kind of like keep everybody in like this little concentration camp or whatever the fuck. You get to see that Annie's father and everybody else there is trying to let the Marleyan guards know that they need to get out of there. They need to try to think of something. They need to try to think of some way to get out of there safely, go up against Eren, something. Like, they need to start making moves. But the Marleyan soldiers, they actually don't believe the Eldians, because only the Eldians was able to see the vision of the dream that Eren sent out in the previous chapter when he was just making his mission known to the world about what he was going to do. Only the Eldians got to see that. So the Marleyan soldiers have no idea what they're talking about. They think they're lying. They think they're trying to conspire, trying to figure out a way to get out of there, which makes no sense, because as Annie's father points out, if everybody in every camp around the world is saying this, then how could we all be conspiring together? It's no way. But, you know, they're not trying to listen. Things get rough. They start kicking them and pushing them down. And then you see Annie's father, he started thinking about Annie herself, and he's like, he's not having it. He wants to see his daughter. He sees that he's gonna have to take matters into his own hands, and because of the fear that has been put in their heads and their hearts because of what Eren is going to do and what is coming their way, he just says fuck it. And you see that he actually goes for the guard's gun and it fires off. So we're probably going to be seeing something like a rebellion with the other Eldians on the outside. So it's going to be pretty cool to see all this chaos that is going to start as a direct result of what Eren is doing on Paradise Island, and that, you know, that message that he sent out. You can really see how Izayama is trying to show us the effects that it's having on everybody as a whole, even inside. Well, you know, there's no walls anymore, but even on the island of Paradise, we get to see the civilians. They're losing it pretty much. They're going at it against each other. There's two different sides, maybe three different sides. You have a lot of civilians that died when Eren initially broke free the Titans from the walls. A lot of the debris fell down, crushing houses, killing civilians and stuff like that. So you have a lot of them, they are angry at Eren, feeling like Eren shouldn't have done this. Eren has harmed his own people. Then you got people on the other side arguing against them, saying that Eren had to do this. Those were necessary sacrifices that he made, and that he had to do it. And also you get to see that there's also this thing going on where you have back and forth. You have some of them saying that, oh, well, you know what, if he didn't do this, then it would have been a whole lot worse later on. So, you know, it's just a whole lot of stuff going on back and forth between the civilians. They can't seem to agree on anything, and it's just a lot of fucked up shit. So you got people fighting on the outside for freedom, trying to figure out what to do. You got people fighting on the inside, trying to justify Eren's actions, and also trying to you know, go up against Eren. So there's really nobody who is wrong. It's so many different perspectives. Everybody sees things in a different way, which is one of the beautiful things about Izayama's writing. He loves to do like this shade of gray. He loves to make you question what is right, what is wrong, who is right, who is wrong, who is the heroes, you know what I'm saying? So, and he wants to make sure that you understand where everybody is coming from. So I like how he breaks it all down and lets you see it from everybody's different perspectives. Even the smaller people, like the civilians, so, you know, like the no-names, you know, so it's pretty cool. And we also get to follow up on what's going on with Armin, and, you know, with that whole situation, Falco and shit like that. So, you know, we have Sasha and well, not Sasha, but we have Gabby, the bitch that killed Sasha, and we have Sasha's sister, little sister, the girl that she saved in season 2, I forgot her name, but Gabby and her, you see that they actually make up, they kiss and make up. You know, they don't really kiss though, but they hug, and you see that they really have you know, come to respect one another. They don't really want to kill each other anymore, or think of each other as devils. So they finally squashed that, thank God. You can see Gabby is finally getting some development, even though I hate her fucking soul. We get to see Armin and Mikasa have this conversation that really just highlights how crazy the situation is. Armin essentially loses it, telling Mikasa, because she keeps asking questions on what to do, where they gotta go, what they're gonna do next. And, you know, Mikasa, she never really thinks for herself, right? She's a great fighter, she's a badass, but she doesn't really think for herself, right? So Armin just got fed up, and he snapped on her, and he told her, he was like, the chain of command, like the military chain of command, is in shambles. All the higher ups are dead, or they was even turned into Titans. Like, it's complete chaos. This shit is crazy. I don't have the first clue as to what to do. And then we get this powerful line that he tells Mikasa that he wishes that Erwin was the one that got brought back to life, not him. He said that if Erwin was here, he probably wouldn't have snapped on Mikasa like that. He probably would have had a better handle on the situation overall. So, you know, it's crazy to see Armin struggling like this, but at the same time, Armin is a very smart individual. I feel like he's going to figure out some way to stop this, or at least suppress it in some kind of way. You know, with Armin, he always comes up with something at the very last minute, so we just gotta hang in there with him. And we see that Mikasa's scarf has been taken away, probably from Mikasa Jr. She's probably wearing it or sniffing it or some shit. We already know she's a fangirl. And yeah, so when Armin tells Mikasa to think for herself, that was powerful. I was just like, damn. Like, I'm like, yeah, Mikasa, it's about that time. You know, we only got about like 6-8 more chapters left. It's about that time for you to start thinking about yourself, man. Like, cause Eren is clearly, you know what I'm saying, you might not ever get to see this dude again, so you better start making some plans for the future. And we get to see what's going on with Flock. Oh, Flock, man. Flock needs to die. I'm talking about like ASAP, brutally, in a way that, and you know what, when I think about it, when I really think about Attack on Titan, other than Zeke, man, I can't think of, I mean, yeah, there's characters you don't like, right? But even Zeke, you know, they explain like why Zeke the way he is. There's characters you don't like in Attack on Titan, but I don't really think there's ever been a character that we just want to see die violently in a very fucked up, painful way. As much as I want to see Flock die, and a lot of other fans in this community, like Flock is just, he has to go, man. He is causing so much trouble. And this guy is just, he is just drunk off Aaron's juices. Like, this guy is, I'm talking about, he just praises the ground that Aaron walks on. Like, he can't do any wrong. He's like the leader of the Jaegerist, which are pretty much like this little subdivision of soldiers, like this cult that worship Aaron and try to help him to fulfill his goal. Now, I know Aaron actually used Flock to help him in getting his plan set up to eventually let free of the Titans in the walls and do the rumbling like he's doing right now. We don't know how much context there is to that. We don't know how he used Flock exactly. We don't know what happened, but we're probably gonna get the details to that soon. But Flock states, because Jane put him on the spot and asked him, he like, who the hell asked you to act like you in charge, like to start putting on airs like you run things around here, like who, like what is you doing? And then Flock goes on this huge speech after blasting a hole in one of the volunteers, one of the Marleyan, one of the Eldian restorationists, you know, the Marleyan soldiers, or the soldiers from other allied countries outside of Marley that have a problem with Marley and wanted to help restore Eldia, that came there, you know, with Yelena and Anyankapon. They're there actually at gunpoint by Flock and the soldiers that are following him. He shoots one of them in their hands, blasting a hole in it, and he does that as some kind of intimidation method to let them know, like, hey man, you see what happens when you don't listen to me, and you know, this is what's gonna happen. And Jane just like, Flock, stop, don't shoot, like what is you doing, man? Like, Flock, you need to chill. That's pretty much, and I love the build up. I can see what Izayama is doing ever since this arc started. You've been seeing the back and forth between Jean and Flock. Flock just wanting to kill everybody, not giving a fuck about really human life, and he's just on this tangent, just super in love, and just, I'm talking about just gone, just high off Aaron. So it's like he doesn't want to listen to anybody. He's a man on a mission, and he is trying to do what he thinks is right, but he is so psychopathic about it with his actions and what he does that it's going to get more people killed than it's gonna help. And Gene sees that, so he keeps trying to pull Flock in and let him know, like, Flock, you need to chill, bro. Like, do you see what you're doing? But Flock has literally lost his fucking mind, and he has to go. And when he is giving this speech to everybody, you know, that came to Eldia to help them out and everything from the allied countries and stuff like that, the guy that he popped in the hand, he just like, fuck you, man, what you talking about, you bastard? And in the middle of him talking, Flock just with a straight face, cold-blooded killer, just blasted this dude's head off, man, right in front of everybody. And Gene just lost it. Like, Gene's face just dropped. Like, he didn't have nothing to say. He was done. After seeing just how crazy Flock is, at that moment, I think that's when Gene realized there's no going back for Flock. Something has to be done about this dude. And he realizes that he is probably the only one that can do something about it. But, you know, we already know how Gene is. We know that Gene is, you know, he's a good leader. He's a good guy at heart. He doesn't want to hurt people. You know, he wants to fight people that need to be fought. He wants to stop the enemies. He wants to stop the people that need to be stopped. But he doesn't want to, you know what I'm saying, like, be involved with killing innocent people. He doesn't want to kill anybody that doesn't need to be killed. Flock doesn't care. He'll kill anybody in his way, even people that happen to get a little close to him that don't even have nothing to do with what he's doing. He might end up shooting them on accident. Like, Flock is crazy and he needs to be stopped. Also, another little small thing that I noticed, they're pairing Mikasa and Jean together because, you know, Armin had told Mikasa to go help Jean out. So this is the first time that we're probably going to see Mikasa and Jean have a lot of interaction with each other, maybe throughout the entire series. And we all know, even though it hasn't been like really heavily focused on for a while, we all know that Jean got a thing for Mikasa, so might be pretty cool. You never know, man. Jean and Mikasa might actually get together. It has been set up in the beginning minorly, so I don't know. We don't know where Izuyama gonna take the story, but it does make sense for that to kind of happen. You know, her breaking away from Eren, Jean confessing his love maybe, or them taking down Flock together. You know what I mean? I don't know where it's gonna go, but I just know Flock gotta go. I know that. And you see Connie, you know, he's kind of struggling in his mind about if he wants to feed Falco to his mom or not. You see Connie struggling with how he has lost everyone important to him in his life, and he wants to just bring somebody back. At the end of the world, everybody gonna die anyway. He like, fuck it, I'm trying to bring my mom back. But at the same time, you can see him struggling with that. You can see him fighting back and forth in his mind, like, should I kill this boy to bring back my mom? But I have to do it. So I don't know what's gonna happen to Connie, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's like death flags everywhere. Like, it would be sad and ironic if Connie was to get eaten by his mother. I don't know. I mean, she can't really move, but that'd just be fucked up. I mean, I really like Connie. I want him to have a happy ending. He deserves it. But I'm not sure what's gonna happen to Connie, man. But death flags are everywhere for this dude. Yeah, wrapping it on up here, man. The biggest thing to take away from this chapter, besides the Annie stuff, Flock going crazy, what's going on with Connie and Falco, Armin snapping on Mikasa, the best thing, or the biggest thing, one of the biggest things to take from this chapter is the fact that we see Hanji again and we see Levi. Both of them are back, and you see Levi, he's covered in all these bandages. See Hanji, she comes out to kind of like, I don't know, wave the white flag, surrender, or kind of try to make like some kind of agreement, or try to discuss terms or something with Magath, with Colonel Magath or General Magath and Peak. She walks up to both of them. We don't know what they're gonna talk about, but the issue ends with Hanji walking up to both of them with her hands up, and she says that there's a defenseless man who just refuses to die in the back of her carriage with this horse carrying it. And you see it focus on Levi, a man just covered in bandages, and you know it's Levi. I mean, you can tell by the hair and everything, the one eye covered up. But yes, we see Levi after a little bit over a year. You know, not knowing exactly what happened to him. I mean, we knew what happened to him, but we wasn't sure of his condition. So it's good to see that he's back in the story now. Is he, I don't really know what he can do, but I'm just interested to see what Izuyama has for him, for Annie, for Flock, for Jean, for Connie, for Falco, Mikasa, Armin, and most of all, Eren. You already know. There's so many different angles to go with this story right now. It's like one big chessboard, and the pieces keep being moved, and this is the end game for real, y'all. I don't know what's gonna happen, but what keeps surprising me is how every issue, it gets closer and closer to the end, but so much more stuff happens in between. So it's like, you keep thinking that Izuyama is cutting off, what you call them, he's wrapping up story threads, but then he's starting other ones up. He's just like, come on, Izuyama, you need to chill with this, with all the story now. You need to get it done, because I know you ain't got that many chapters left. So get it done. Like, don't, you know, I don't want you to make it all the way to 130 and then everything get wrapped up, and then out of nowhere you just introduce a new villain. Like, nah, man, just the pacing is good. Do what you got to do, man, because I can just tell that this could be one of the most complete war sagas that we've seen in a story in a long time. Because usually with a lot of mangas, when they get to the war saga, they get to the end, stuff gets rushed or stuff doesn't get fleshed out as much as it should. So a lot of things don't really make that much sense, or it just doesn't come out as smoothly as you can see they might have intended it to. So it seems like that won't be the case with Attack on Titan. So I'm really excited to see what else happens in this finale. So let me know what you think about this chapter in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like, dislike it, share the video. Please subscribe for more content like this. Love talking about Attack on Titan, and I would like to make more videos discussing what I think will happen next with this story. And until next time, guys, peace.